Reece's rescue mission for Trinity led them into a warlock trap, exploiting their deepest fears. Illusions of lost loved ones and haunting cries for help separated them. And though Juniper broke free, they were returned to their starting point. Trinity still lost. Where is Trinity? How did the warlocks know their fears? Can they find another way? What did the Guardian's warning mean? What new traps await? Reece's body ached. His mind felt raw. The warlocks had played him, toyed with his desperation, and when he had come close to reaching Trinity, they had ripped her away again. He had failed her. Again. He clenched his fists, standing on shaky legs. Juniper, Vincent, Noah, and Elias gathered around him, equally shaken. The warlock's magic had wrung them dry, forcing them to face the ghosts of their pasts. Reece exhaled sharply. We underestimated them. Elias nodded grimly. That was never their real stronghold. They led us here to break us. Vincent scoffed. Yeah, well, it almost worked. Juniper crossed her arms. So, what's the next step? Reece looked toward the horizon, where the remnants of the City of the Forgotten still lingered in the shadows. We keep moving. We find the next lead. But doubt clawed at him. How much longer could they keep chasing ghosts? As they made camp that night, silence hung heavy between them. The weight of failure was a thick fog none of them could shake. Vincent and Noah quietly tended to their wounds, while Elias sketched runes in the dirt, trying to decipher the magic used against them. Juniper sat beside Reece, watching him as he stared into the fire. You look like hell. He smirked weakly. Feel like it too. She hesitated. What happened back there? It got to you. Reece ran a hand over his face, exhaustion pressing down on him. It reminded me of something I thought I'd buried. Juniper studied him. Not Liana, something else. Reece's jaw tightened. There was a different wound, one he never spoke of. A past betrayal that had shaped him just as much as losing Liana had. The first time I met a warlock, he muttered, staring into the flames. I was 12. The memory was as sharp as ever. He had been a reckless child, eager to prove himself, eager to be more than just the Alpha's son. One night, he had wandered too far from the safety of the Pack's territory, drawn by whispers on the wind. A boy had been waiting for him in the woods. He had looked human, just another kid, maybe a year or two older than Reece. He had smiled, offered friendship, promised to show him something amazing. And young, naive Reece had believed him, until the magic came. Pain had erupted through his body, his limbs locked in place as invisible chains wrapped around his form. He had fought, struggled, but he had been powerless. The boy's smile had widened. You're strong, he had murmured, but not strong enough. And then the warlocks had come. They hadn't killed him. They had toyed with him, tested him, studied him like a creature in a cage. For hours, he had felt his own strength slipping away, felt something pulling at his very soul. And then his father had arrived. Darius had torn through the warlocks like a storm, his rage unlike anything Reece had ever seen. The battle had been brutal, but in the end, the warlocks had fled. His father had saved him, but the boy, the one who had lured him there, had escaped, and Reece had never forgotten. Juniper listened quietly, her expression unreadable. You never told anyone? She asked finally. Reece shook his head. What was there to tell? I was stupid. I let them trick me. She frowned. You were a kid, Reece. It wasn't your fault. Reece wasn't so sure. That moment had shaped him, had planted the first seed of hatred in his heart. And now, after everything, Trinity's capture, the Warlock's games, it felt like history was repeating itself. I swore I'd never be that weak again, he admitted. I swore I'd never let a Warlock take anything from me. Juniper exhaled. And now they have? Reece's fingers tightened around his knee. Not for long. By morning, the group was ready to move again. They had no new leads, no clear direction. But they had something stronger. Determination. Elias pointed toward the rising sun. There's an old Warlock enclave beyond the eastern cliffs. If Trinity was moved, we might find answers there. Reece nodded. Then that's where we go. The chase wasn't over. The Warlocks had won this round, but the fight was far from finished. Trinity was still waiting, and Reece wasn't giving up. Reece's failed rescue left them reeling, the Warlocks' illusions a cruel reminder of their deepest fears. Trinity remained lost, and the question of her location gnawed at them. Where is she? How did the warlocks know their fears so intimately? The Guardian's cryptic warning, "Beware the mirrored path," hung heavy in the air, a chilling premonition. As they approached the ancient warlock enclave, a sense of dread settled over them. The air crackled with unseen magic, hinting at the traps that surely awaited. What new horrors would they face? Would they find Trinity? Or would they be ensnared in a nightmare of their own making, a reflection of their deepest, darkest anxieties?
Hey, I am Trinity. Want to know what happens next? Then click the link in the description below and download the Pocket FM app and listen to the exciting episodes of Chosen by Fate, Rejected by the Alpha.